Someone 51, and I need some Everclear, and I need to, I'm like, oh my God, your mother's a badass.
Did you hear about the parties at EF?
Yes.
Yeah, like security came up and he was going up there and he was going to the party and there was like a race.
We went to, we're at ACE. Now, let me give you the perfect example of his mother. We are at ACE in North Carolina. Kage is there, his mother is there. Ronnie is there. I am there, Aqua is there. Kage goes to bed. His mother comes up to drink in the concert with us. We decided that we would tell Kage the next morning that his mother was giving lap dances. 6 or 7 of us all got together and planned how this would go so that he would believe it. Because we assumed that when one of us said it, he would start asking other people who were there to verify and make sure we were fucking with him. No. One person said, oh my God, your mama gave a lap dance to Mama D last night. And he goes, and walks off. He had no problem believing his mother was giving lap dances at the concert. I love Kage's mom. I want her to adopt me. God, that would mean Sam's my brother.
He's my cousin. So that means, will we be related? If you get adopted? Second cousin.
We're both Southern, so.
I mean, we are Southern, so we're probably related.
Should I just, guys, the Otter is saying, the Otter is supposed to be part of this. The Otter is saying that our youngest one will make her sleep. Bring the baby. Bring the baby. Bring the baby.
Tell him that I will snuggle Ezra and give him all the animal records. Our kids are having a room party right now. Are these your kids in my room?
I sure as fuck hope so, because if not, I have no clue. I'm a wonderful parent.
Oh, look. It's not a sleeping party until the lion shows up.
What is this panel? I'm pretty high.
We want it. We got 2 minutes.
Okay. This was like just us talking shit on Twitter.
This was intentionally a bad idea.
Yeah, no, like it was just a joke, and I was like, hey, that sounds like a fun panel idea at Fursquared. I'll submit it, and then ask him to all of a sudden like put us on the schedule, and he had it boxed.
No, she's leaving out some parts, which was the original idea for this, but I have a wonderful panel idea for you. It will literally be me sleeping on stage for an hour. We can call it Boozy's Drunken Naptime. She sent that to Huskoon, and this motherfucker approved it. Hi.
And then I invited all the lions.
You have a mic. Give me back the one with the stand. I don't want no shit.
Yeah, we had it. So yeah, this whole panel started as one big inside joke. It's like, I wonder if we can get people. We'll just put a bunch of big names like Boozy and Naboa and Fox and more. And one of them has a blue check mark behind their name on Twitter, so you know he's got to be popular.
Right.
So we'll just.
It's done nothing for me, by the way. I'm pointing
You lie. It has.
Okay, so be honest with me, Fox. How jealous is Pepper that you have a blue check mark and he doesn't?
Really, really jealous.
Actually, no,
I can answer that question.
no joke. There is a lawyer. We have a community of lawyers, like hundreds of lawyers all over the country, called Lawyer Smack. And there is one guy in there who, for the 1.5 years, he has been a member of Lawyer Smack, has been just desperately trying to get a blue check mark behind his name. So, of course, we all start applying for blue check marks so we can post in the room when one of us gets to piss him off. The other day he got like his 93rd rejection and he's going off of that. And he's like, I bet nobody really gets these except media types and folks on the news and politicians. I said, huh? You know, there's a fucking fox who plays the piano with one. And then I said, I'm gonna wait to you.
Oh, so he was the guy that said that horrible.
Oh, I love it. I love it. When you assholes like kidnap me for shit, he's watching it and he sends out a message to me. He's like, how can I get the furries to like me too? And I'm going, Drew, nobody likes you. Actually, no shit. He did get a persona. He's Andrew Rosso on Twitter. But he says, he told somebody he was going to be a squirrel. And it was back when you all had decided that every lawyer had to have a persona now. So somebody gave him a drawing of a squirrel. And he's like, I love it. And I'm going, oh my God, your life is just so sad.
Maybe he just likes nuts.
Yeah. He actually is a very, very nice guy. He's what we call a baby lawyer. And the problem with baby lawyers is they are just so desperate for everybody to immediately recognize them as wonderful, wonderful attorneys. And those of us who have been in practice for a few years, we're like abusive step-parents. Because, like, look at me, I'm special and important. You are shit and meaningless. Go be something else. Yeah. That'd be great. I thought, like the fucking Supreme Court judge, Ginsburg just shows up at your house with a glass slipper to find out if you're the next Supreme Court justice. That would be wonderful.
If the shoe doesn't fit, you must have quit.
So, it officially started.
Yeah, we officially started 2 minutes ago. So
this is why you're not up here, plus the line needs you.
So welcome to Boozy's Drunken Naptime, the panel that wasn't supposed to be. This panel is full of lies. A, I'm sober. Yeah.
Is that a lie, or are you?
No, that's true.
Do you need me to fix that?
Yes.
Can you fix this?
Say what? Well, no, that's illegal in any situation at night. 2, I am not taking a nap. Unfortunately.
That's the lying part.
That's like a block then.
Yeah, I just understood why he's here. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're an asshole.
I know.
Like, don't lie. It took me less than a year to go, oh, furries are neat and everything, to fucking husk him.
No.
Are you promised? This last night was awful.
Swear.
If Huscoon works, what can we punish Huscoon with if he burns in my face again?
Expulsion. So I still have to deal with what programming at this con, because how I can't do it.
Yeah, like everybody who's like just walked in. Now that they've seen something good, they're gonna come watch this shit.
I was really happy with that.
This is
What are you all doing here? This was a joke. I have a dance going on.
Have you seen these people dance? Yeah. Like alcohol?
Hey, that was the number 7 answer.
Alright, leave the fucking list alone, please.
That's the one plotting you were talking about.
Yes.
He's right back there. You can pick up the mic and tell them.
Outline.
Go so
Boozy thinks you're cute.
No, he does not.
I was just reading his phone.
Okay, so
As he's talking to his boyfriend, Boozy thinks you're cute, Alkaline.
He does.
Don't worry, he just broke up with me. We're cool.
Oh, good.
Xander, I love you.
can we get a second keyboard? keyboard in here for Naboa? I want to see Julie
It's actually
keyboard.
in here.
It is
Really?
not,
Because
yeah.
I made your AD bring it, even though there was one already here.
Ooh.
I could play two keyboard calls.
Okay, I want to see Julie keyboards now.
So guys, how many people in here are actually from Wisconsin?
Wow.
You guys live in like the whitest state on the face of the earth. Like, no shit. It actually, but your quarter has a cow, a hunk of cheese, and a corn cob on it. You have a freshwater fishing museum. You are the Swiss cheese and bratwurst capital of the world. The world's largest collection of mustard is located in Wisconsin. You assholes built a museum to it. This is a state that Hitler would look at and say, you guys need a little more diversity.
Do you know the history of this state with World War II?
I don't want to know the history of this state with World War II.
No, so basically, outside of California, Wisconsin was the biggest concern of FDR because of the high German population. Not even kidding.
And now it's Denver.
If Hitler had taken over the United States, Milwaukee was to be the new capital.
There we go.
God.
People are still coming in.
Come to Milwaukee, we have Nazis.
That's a terrible
I don't know.
Don't say that. You're going to get a lot of people coming. Have you seen it?
Okay, Boozy, there's an RCFM joke in there somewhere.
I already made it.
No. That doesn't exist anymore.
Actually, you don't know how amusing I am when I sleep. Somebody in the back earlier, before everybody came in, and I said, this panel was really a joke because I had said I'm just going to sleep for an hour. Somebody in the back said, well, at a furry convention, you would just call that the apnea hour. And it made me think, because several years ago I was talking to my spouse, and a friend of mine had said they had sleep apnea, and I was like vaguely aware of what it was. Like I was aware that you had trouble breathing usually, and I was saying, yeah, he has this thing where he has to wear a machine because during the night he just stops breathing. She looks at me and says, you do that too? And I go, really? And she goes, yeah, and then I take the pillow off your face inside.
I thought I couldn't love her more.
Yeah. She looks at me, and she looks at me and goes, I want to meet your wife. She sounds wonderful. And I go, well, she hasn't killed me yet, and I'm a heavy sleeper, so.
And I love her, so I was right.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I'm impressed by the number of people in their Kigus and pajamas right now.
I
Also.
know.
It's like people actually read the con book and the online schedule.
And then there's people like Dusty over here who's wearing a Kigu, and he's like nodding, yeah, these are my pajamas. No, motherfucker, you wear that to work. I know you. It's like your everyday outfit.
Hey, Dragor, why don't you get in your pajamas?
No! No!
I know how you sleep.
So do I, because at one convention, Dragor's like, hey, if you need a place to room, you can room with us, but I sleep in the nude. And I'm going, I can't tell if you're trying to entice me or drive me away, but either way, no.
No, it was flat facts, and someone thought I was joking before, and I'm a little bit deaf in this ear because they saw me streak. I was just doing my thing, and all of a sudden,
So, fun fact, if you pull the fire alarm tonight, don't...
Do not give them ideas! They're very creative without you, motherfucker!
Hey, you remember Motor City Furquared, right? When I ran into the room and you were naked as fuck.
What did he say, Dragor? What did he say?
What did I say?
he was knocking on our door all night. We were having a little, quiet little powwow, and we kept hearing someone bang up. We thought it was coming from out in the hall. Turns out it was the connecting room that this motherfucker was in. So I get this idea in my head of I'm going to crack the door and flash my jump as punishment. Not sober. So So, we've all seen me in my suits. So that's where the shriek happened, actually. And he says, and I quote, and I'm going to do a really shitty version of your accent, "It's so small."
Size queens.
I fucking love you folks. Let me tell you, at Burpak, these wonderful people said to me, because it was a last minute thing, like at 6 a.m. that morning, I wasn't going to a furry convention that weekend. At like noon, I'm like, look, Dixie said, you want to come? And I go, well, you know, I've got things to do this weekend. I really do have to ask the otter. And she goes, oh, no, then your spouse said it's okay. And I call her, and she goes, oh, yeah, I packed your bag. It's in your car at the office. I dropped it off on my way to work.
Love her.
So now I'm going to a furry convention. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I said, well, I have no place to sleep. Dixie says, oh, you can sleep in our bathtub. And I'm going, well, I guess I'm getting the full fucking experience, aren't I? I get there, and Dixie has been having some fun. And she is walking me around the convention going, this is Boozy, he's sleeping in our bathtub. This gentleman walks up, looks at me and goes, you're not sleeping in the tub.
And who's sleeping in the tub?
Now, I
didn't say it in a sexy way like that. It's like, you're not sleeping in the tub.
I didn't sleep in the tub. I ended up sleeping on the floor. Fox very graciously said, we have room in the bed, you can sleep in the bed. And I said, no, it's okay. Well, Fox and Pepper are sharing a bed. Just fix that in your mind, because I expect to see it on Fur Affinity.
This is why I get really drunk. I drink it to forget.
Fox and Pepper are sharing the bed, and they turn off the light, and I'm on the floor, and from the bed I hear this rich, beautiful Scottish brogue say, Pepper, if you touch me, I'll fucking kill you.
It was exactly like that.
There was no inflection. I'm like, I can't tell if he's joking or this. The best part of this, and I haven't told this part, and there's pictures, motherfucker, is the next morning, I wake up, Dixie's awake, we're the only two awake, which is weird, and I walk by their bed, and I call Dixie over, and I come here. And we look over, and there's Fox on his side, all the way at the edge of the bed, and there's Pepper, cuddled right into his bed. So we did what everybody does in those heartwarming moments. We took like 20 fucking photos, and one day I'm gonna sell them. Guys in the back with the child is, I think, our last panelist for the evening. That is the otter. Come on. Yeah, come on. All the way. Aww. Daddy's got a drink in front of you. They're recording it.
That's okay. My dad was taking me to a bar when I was 6.
That explains a lot.
This is Wisconsin. This is nothing new.
Yeah, this is in Ohio.
Hey! Actually, this one was going to the pub at very young age.
Probably, yes. My mom's side of the family all from Wisconsin.
What?
That when you were little, your mom took you to the pub.
She took me to the pub when I was little, yeah. But this is Scotland. You can drink as soon as you're out of the womb. In fact, there's a bar in every mother's womb in Scotland. I mean, every free game. Like, we come out with like a bottle of beer. It's like, hey, I'm born.
Like the 6-year-old yelling, sheep shagging bastards.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. All right, okay, so I'll tell this story real quick. But she came over to visit Scotland, and I took her to a football, soccer. It's a football game, okay? And we were playing this team from Aberdeen. Now, Aberdeen's a city way north of Scotland in the Highlands, and we basically call them all sheep shaggers because that's what they do. So their football team was down here playing an Edinburgh football team, Aberdeen Football Club. Woo! Aberdeen, okay. And we're just laying into these fans. We're saying like, you're sheep shagging bastards, you're sheep shagging bastards, ha 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 ha. And we're singing it. And then moments later they go up and score, and that goal wins them the game, so they beat us. And then they literally pull out inflatable sheep, shake them at us, and they all go, we're sheep shagging bastards, we're just sheep shagging bastards. And we're just looking at them going, that's karma.
It's okay. Do you know how the lambskin condom was invented?
What?
A Scotsman got stuck.
I can cue my own jokes.
Guys, the wonderful person at the end of the stage is my spouse. That is the Otter quotation marks who has enabled this craziness. This is the one who, like 3 months afterwards, after the article, I went to IFC and I had a conversation with somebody, and they had said, well, we're pretty sure that you were always a furry and you just figured out what it was. And I got home and I walked in and I looked at her and I said, big news, apparently we're furries now and we always have been. And nonplussed, without missing a beat, she looks at me and goes, oh, I figured that out in May. I was waiting for you to pick up on it. Which is the personification of 10 years of marriage right there. She doesn't tell me shit she already knows. She waits for me to figure it out and goes, oh, I've known that for a while. Like 10 years of marriage is shitting with the bathroom door open and screaming, what do you want for dinner? 10 years of marriage is we're driving home one night, we drive by a funeral home, we start talking about funeral plans. And I have always been very clear that I want to be buried. And I want to be buried not because of any traditional or family reasons, but because I'm an arrogant bastard and I like the idea of taking up one piece of land for the rest of time. The Otter is much more environmentally conscious and wants to be cremated. And has made me promise that if she dies before me, that I will make sure she's cremated. And without missing a beat, I looked over and I said, honey, don't fucking worry, you're gonna burn. I may even pay him extra to let me press the button.
What would a responsible person do?
But she has not murdered me in my sleep yet. I think she's waiting for me to change the beneficiary on the life insurance policy.
Is it still a cat?
Yes. I hate that fucking cat. I love that cat, but I can't. This is our marriage in a nutshell, and tell me if I'm wrong. I came home several months ago. I walked upstairs, I opened the bathroom door. There is a one-eyed, snaggle-toothed cat sitting on the sink staring at me. It looks at me and it goes, yeah! We don't own a cat. I close the door, I go downstairs, I go, honey, there's a cat in the bathroom, and she goes, yes, that's Sheba, she lives here now. She had rescued this one-eyed, snaggle-toothed cat that not only couldn't meow, but couldn't purr either. Like, you know, cats purr. That's how cats purr, right? No, not this one. This one purrs like this. And like every fucking cat that has been brought home without my knowledge, this one became my cat very quickly. I don't know how, but now she does shit like wait for me to go to the bathroom and then sit. She doesn't like curl up in the pants and purr and be cute like some cats do. No, she sits on the radiator across from the toilet and just stares.
She follows me on Twitter.
Yes, she does. She has a Twitter now. This is my fucking life.
Yeah, yeah. She doesn't follow you. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's about accurate.
Cat verified, I will help.
If my cat gets verified, I'm done. That's just it.
Get your cat verified.
I'm done.
Can we get your cat verified before Pepper?
Yeah.
Support that?
Yeah.
All right.
You need to sign a petition because I will write it on my computer.
Yeah.
But you can write it up.
I'm going to do your cat's wiki page, okay?
My cat's got to get a wiki page.
That is like seriously, like, verification on Twitter is actually hard as hell. And that is one of the requirements.
that you have a Wikipedia page?
Baltimore has a
Oh,
Wikipedia page that has at least
That's super
1,200 words.
It's almost like
It's actually really, really big.
A bunch of other people. Words I've never heard in my life, folks, right there. It was things like, oh my god, how did they know that? That's scary.
oh yeah.
Didn't say that. Fair enough.
Fox's real name is right there, and you click over to Fox's Wikipedia.
That goes along with
about
It's there.
1,200 words about it.
It is actually.
That's because I do video games.
Correct to his real name.
Yes.
Yeah, it's under his real name.
That's terrifying. That's really terrifying.
Also known as Fox.
Oh,
Okay, I'm looking at this now.
Darn it, internet. Stop it.
The best part about
So tomorrow I'm gonna take one of your cues.
they're giving away all your secrets. I didn't.
How is that a secret? I didn't even know that existed.
I did it.
Oh no.
Wow, okay, so the Google search for you, that is a really bad first picture.
Wait, what is it? What is it?
Pepper? Is it this one?
Oh, yeah.
That is such a bad
That is
picture.
like,
You know who he looks like? The fucking aliens guy from the History Channel. Oh. No shit. Hold on. Can we get this full screen? He looks like
How
the
long
aliens
ago
guy.
are you looking at my baby picture?
He looks like the aliens guy from the History Channel, and now I want one of you to download it and meme it out.
Why is it my parents do this and now everyone has to do it as well? They find baby pictures of me, then put them everywhere. Like at Anthrocon last year, they were showing everyone my baby pictures. They're like, haha, look at this. Like,
This may be a better picture, though. I don't know.
That is a better picture.
Is it Giles Martin? Giles Martin?
Giles
Martin?
Giles Martin is George Martin's son.
He
You know who George Martin is, right?
around you with this picture.
Wait, what?
Okay, so it's a
I've worked with Giles Martin.
By the way, guys, this is exactly how.
Surprise, I've done like. Oh,
He pulls shit up and then says the worst thing he can think of. And
I look exactly the same. What the fuck?
Yeah. You're like a barometer of bad opinions. Like every time you tweet something, I'm just like, oh, this is gonna start some shit.
Have you seen the pictures of Kage from like 20 or 30 years ago? Holy moly! He actually had hair. It was like black, and it was like, wow. It's like he looked so different.
so it was too funny.
Panther
landed.
That's what
no.
happened.
Actually, it was like 15 minutes ago, so he could be getting here.
Anthrocon did the Kage what MFF was going to do to Rob.
Was his flight on time?
What?
Probably not. No.
Okay.
Maybe it's
Hey, Rama, as far as I know, you haven't aged in 20 years. Love you. Nobody gets it.
Well, welcome to the panel where apparently we all just lift our phones and talk amongst ourselves while you all watch. This is,
can we get pictures up on the screen?
can we get pictures of? Put your phone away.
No, I'm pulling a picture up on my phone. It's so cute.
Oh my god.
Wasn't there like
Yes, it actually is.
I want to know, what did you guys expect from this panel when you saw it? Really? This was just a bunch of BS in between 3 people, 3 to 5, 3 to 7. 7 people on stage doing it. You were expecting? Okay, so.
They haven't connected to a central system.
Except for, I love that. We were expecting you to be entertaining, except for Husku.
What were you expecting from me? Just bad opinions?
Yes.
That's tomorrow night.
Like, notice like there's not even a fucking hesitation in the room. What, were you expecting me to say something stupid that everybody's got to disagree with? Yeah. That's why we keep you around.
I might say
Am I really the furry Piers Morgan?
More or less. The best part about this is tomorrow, Grandiose Toad, who's another attorney that was here well before me. Yeah. Yes. Is running his first furry convention panel ever called Lawyer Horror Stories, where it's going to be him and myself telling stories. We roped an honest-to-God, well-respected intellectual property attorney into this. He's at the DoubleTree down the street. He's coming tomorrow and sitting in on this one panel to talk about this. We got a message from him today. Now, I know him. He's very well respected in his field. We got a message from him today. He's looking at the Fursquared schedule, and he says, I have a question. And I'm going, I figured this would happen. He goes, is trigonometry code for something in the furry community? Why, Mr. Whipple, why would you think that? Because I'm trying to figure out why the fuck they have a math panel at 11 p.m. There is a panel for tomorrow at 11 p.m. about trigonometry. And now that I think about it, he has a point. I don't know the answer to his question. Is trigonometry some weird shit you guys do in the furry community? Because I wouldn't put it past it now to think that is a fetish.
Boozy. As the director of programming for Fursquared, no comment.
No, you must comment.
Nope, no comment.
Trigonometry on the schedule.
I'm sorry, Dixie, are you asking us to mansplain trigonometry to you?
Are we starting that right now?
Yes, you should. No, that's not what we're talking about. It's this one right above it, advanced trigonometry.
It is, it's advanced trigonometry.
I'm sorry, it's not 11. It's not 11 p.m. It's at 11:30 p.m. So it's later than this panel where I've dropped the F-bomb a dozen fucking times already.
Do you get like...
I hope. How would you explain that? Like, did you get your con certified with Northern Illinois University or something? Are they?
Hey, what's going on with this?
Are they like?
Shouldn't he be asking the lion next to him? Naboa's the one hosting it.
I love that Alkali's 2 responses to everything we've said have been this. There's been no in between. Oh, now he's got 2 of them, and he's waving the fuck flag in at this point.
Huskoot, I want to remind you that when you first took over as director of programming, I reminded you, I need to sign off on all programming, and what did you tell me 2 weeks ago?
I forget.
Yeah, that is almost exactly what you told me. I forgot to have you sign off. Here's the damn schedule. And I asked you, what is the trigonometry panel? And what did you say to me?
Probably one big fat joke.
Like this?
Oh, yeah. Well, congratulations. I will now be in advanced trigonometry at 11:30 tomorrow night. And so will one of the nation's best intellectual property attorneys.
Okay, so Alkali, we may need to move into a bigger room.
I freaking hate you!
And we may need to tap into the petty cash also.
I recently referred you.
Well, we ran off the con chair. Who brought the hookers and cocaine? I was waiting to see if he burst back in the door after that one.
I recently referred you a client.
Well, first of all, I want to stop you right there. I said who brought the hookers and cocaine, and you said speaking of. So I don't want to talk to the client who just referred to me.
You already know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, but yours doesn't have to be a picture of us.
Well, wait a second. We took a poll of the fandom while you weren't looking, and they told us we can't give this back to you.
What if I uninstalled Twitter first?
What if you did that once, it didn't work.
Hey, will you touch your fingerprint to this real quick?
What?
Will you touch your finger to this real quick? No.
Hey, you guys want to know something fun that I found out in the past month? This asshole has an After Dark account. I wasn't aware of this. Like I forget why, but I searched Huskoot for something, and one of the top 3 responses is his After Dark account. And I sent him a message, and I go, "You have an After Dark account?" And here's what I get back: "Do you like what you see?"
Well, did you?
I'll tell you what, I don't know what I was looking at, but that raccoon's face was in a very bad place. Yeah.
Oh, they can. Angry sex has its origin.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Thank God. Dixie was going through her phone. I looked over, and thank God, it's actually a picture that I had sent her at one point in time of my child. And at first, I thought it was like she was going through her camera roll, and I'm like, why does Dixie have pictures of my children on her phone?
No, I was actually like looking up our conversation because you said something really great when I referred you to that client.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. How? Wait.
I love that.
QM, I owe you this. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm just giving your wife $20. Don't worry about it.
It's okay.
A charity.
Power bills due at the end of the week.
A charity that me and Fox Grove support, they needed help with their pet fox, Swiper. We love Swiper. So they needed a lawyer, so I referred them to Boozy, who immediately referred them to a lawyer in Illinois.
Yep.
And this is Boozy's quote. He immediately said, "How the fuck did a property case involving a fox in Illinois end up contacting you?" Then a pause followed by, "This is a furry thing, isn't it?"
The best part about this is he not only took the case, he took it for free. And no, I know this guy. Okay, guys, my nickname at the courthouse, and this is not a joke. This is what other lawyers actually called me. Fuck you, pay me. They will say, who's opposing counsel on your case? It's Boozy. Oh, you mean fuck you, pay me. Settle now. This guy's more vicious than I am about getting his fucking bills paid. So when he said I took it for free, I immediately contacted his wife to see if he had a stroke. And when she said he hadn't, I said, why did you take it for free? And he goes, sounds fucking fun, doesn't it? He's writing a cease and desist letter to stop someone from saying, you should give me the fox I gave you 5 years ago back. He's doing it for free because he wants to fuck with people. And I warned him. I said, let me put it this way. Word of this will get around. There are a lot of furries in Chicago. I look forward to seeing you at MFF next year.
Yes.
Like I keep, like every time, like MFF was going, I said, you ought to come to MFF. He's like, fuck you. No. Other lawyers have come to furry conventions, a lot of times because they're like, oh, well, we'll meet you at this convention you gotta be at while you're in our area. And I'm like, okay. And then like, where are you? And I don't respond to them for 3 days. And normally because I'm busy and I don't check my phone that often at conventions. But whenever I read their messages, it's just like this amazing advancement things. Hey dude, I'm here, where you at? Okay, so I gotta buy a pass to get in, but that's cool. Do you want to meet up for lunch? What's with all the giant animal people walking in a line, and why are people taking pictures? I'm at a panel about leather hoods. And then they go silent. And then when I finally read their messages and go, how did you enjoy the convention? They like, you can, the best thing is when you see like the little fucking bubbles where they're talking back to you, and they start and stop. And then 10 minutes later they start again and they stop. And it does this for like 4 fucking days because they're trying to figure out how to phrase their response without either admitting to something or offending you. This has been a very interesting year in my household. Not only are we apparently fucking furries now. Oh my God. Where is that from? And why don't those go over to his jacket? I can. Oh my God! I don't recall this at all.
No, you don't need. Oh my God. This is like, no, not for that. Let's go back to making fun of Huskoon. That's something we can all be on board with, right? Let's make fun of Huskoon for the next.
I don't know if the picture is worse than
Now, guys, let me put it this way. MFF is fucking weird. Like, I was not expecting that. I had been to Anthrocon. I'm like, okay, so it's a really big furry convention. I'm used to this idea. Yeah, MFF is like Anthrocon's drunken older brother. No, I mean like older brother, because the drunken younger brother comes to you for help at some point in time. I ended up in the lobby at MFF in a chair getting a lap dance from Alkali as people threw dollar bills at us for charity. I have no idea how that situation happened.
I think this would be tweet-worthy if we got enough money for charity.
I was walking around and then boom,
I think
told you on my lap.
Where did Outline go with this hat?
Yeah, it is. Somebody drew a picture of it. Thank you.
All right, I will tweet this picture.
Oh my God, she's walking around with a charity hat saying she's going to tweet the embarrassing photo.
Over here. Let's film that. Let's see.
Somebody's got money in the back. There's money in the back. What are you doing? Go get the money.
Go! Why are you encouraging that?
Is it going to the charity? Let me put it this way. I have walked into so many conventions. I have walked over to the director of program, director of charity, when they say, would you mind doing this? Would you mind doing that? My response is, I am your charity meat puppet. Put your hand inside me and work me. The first time I said that, the room went quiet, and I went, I should have thought that phrase out better.
You're saying that other directors actually ask you for permission before throwing you and stuff?
Yeah, fucking imagine that. I don't know.
No, Travis, trust me. I talk to my panels. I tell them, you're doing this, and this.
I said this earlier. I will say this again. The most terrifying sight in the world is having your email inbox ding, looking at it, and his fucking name's on the message. There are 5 panels I'm on here. I didn't submit any of them. Like, it just, ding. Oh. Apparently now I'm doing something with Fox and More on Friday. I wasn't aware of this.
Neither was I.
No, we need 3 digits.
Tweet the picture.
No, I think we need to hit at least 100.
We need 3 digits. We got 70.
Wait, 150 and Fox will retweet it.
No.
Fucking 200. I'll tweet the goddamn thing.
Oh.
Apparently a picture of me drunk with alkali wearing ears and a lei.
I think $70 is at least enough for QM to tweet it.
Are we like auctioning off by the number? Oh God. So anyways, Dixie had wanted to do something. She came up as we were trying to figure desperately out what to do with this. And she said, you know, people talk down to women all the time and they mansplain things. No, you're doing it. You're doing it. And the hat's there and people know where to put the money. And they mansplain things to them. So I want to give Dixie and QM the opportunity to womansplain things to the rest of us who won't shut our fucking mouths and listen. Okay?
Screams and runs off stage.
Hey, let me tell you about childbirth.
Oh, really? Okay. There's an 8-year-old boy walking around this convention right now, and let me tell you, 10 pounds, 2 ounces, no drugs, baby. So why don't you tell me about childbirth? Yeah.
Impart the wisdom. You had a wonderful piece of advice you wanted to give people earlier.
Oh, about boobs?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
But I don't even know how many people in here actually like boobs. Who likes boobs? Oh, there's a lot of people that like boobs.
Pretty much everybody likes it.
Really?
No shit. I have an old friend named Matt. Matt has been married to his husband for actually probably about 8 years now. Matt sits there and goes, gay, straight, it doesn't matter. Everybody loves boobies. Who am I carrying in that?
I don't know, but I love you,
I want to point out that the panel where we have been sitting here saying horrible, horrible things is what finally put my son to sleep.
That is so your child.
Yes, yes it is. No shit, I love him dearly, but I had forgotten how much I hate babies.
Babies suck.
We had twins. And the twins, we had some single friends come over when they were just starting to toddle, but they were still in diapers. And they came over one evening, and they're sitting there, and we'd ate dinner, and we were watching TV and movies. And my youngest daughter, my younger daughter, who's having a room party right now,
With my kids.
came toddling over in her diaper, and I picked her up, and I put her on my knee, and I was bouncing her and bouncing her and bouncing her. I'm just talking. And I reach in my pocket to get something out of or a cigarette. I knew exactly I was reaching for my cigarettes, and I brought my pack of cigarettes out, and I took a cigarette out, and I was getting ready to put it in my mouth, and as it gets right here, an odor hits me, and I look down, and my entire hand to the wrist is covered in shit. She had explosive diarrhea. She had gone completely through the diaper, all over me, all over the couch, all over my pants. You know how I reacted. Oh, okay. And I picked her up, and I walked into the bathroom, and I washed her off, and I washed myself off, and I went in the bedroom, and I cleaned my pants, and I walked back out, and the lovely otter over there is finishing cleaning up the couch, and our two single friends are just doing this. And as I sit down, they go, dude, that was everywhere. How did you not notice? I go, well, to be frank, unless they're freshly bathed, small children always smell vaguely like shit. You don't know what it is to be a parent until you have played my favorite guessing game, chocolate or poop.
I have 4 sons.
Oh my
4.
God.
Okay. I have played that game way too much in my life.
This kid is so good though. He has become my little buddy. He loves Thomas the Tank Engine. He loves Thomas the Tank Engine a lot. They're 2, they're 4, they're 6, they're 8. Pushing trucks and hauling freight. Red and green and brown and blue. They're the very useful crew. Hold on.
All with different roles play, round to myth sheds or far away. Round the hills and round the bend, Thomas and his friend.
Thomas, he's a cheeky one. We know this by heart. And how do we know it by heart? Oh my fucking God, I hate Sir Topham Hatt. We have seen every episode of this show. The old ones and the new ones. He is not Sir Topham Hatt. He is Sir Topham Hate. This motherfucker had an engine that had been freshly painted and didn't want to get his coat ruined. So the engine went into a tunnel because he didn't want to go out. Now, let me break this down. Sir Topham Hatt has a wardrobe that is exclusively made of coats with tails and fresh top hats. He has the money to paint the fucking engines. But it is apparently so rare that he spends that money that this engine is willing to not work rather than get wet. This sounds like having a parent who drives a Ferrari and makes you shop at the DAV. He bricks the tunnel up. Now, that's the part that you hear on the internet. He bricks the tunnel up and leaves the engine there to just rust away. That's the part you hear on the internet. They don't go in
to how much hatred had to go into making that decision. Because this engine was not like in a tunnel on a shed, it was in a tunnel on an active train line. So let me break this down. Sir Topham Hatt took a freight train out of service, bricked it into a tunnel, tore up the track leading to and from the tunnel, shut down the spur and rerouted all over traffic to teach one engine a lesson. This is the equivalent of throwing your kid off a bridge because they will not clean their room. I try not to watch Thomas if I can avoid it. Oh God, no, no. Well, then don't fuck that up.
Now we're just on his phone. All right, are we gonna sing along now?
You seriously play this and like Pepper will just start dancing immediately.
Hey, since we're playing shit from our phones, I would like to play you the song that I discovered, which I am now convinced is the song you hear when you die. This is like 30 minutes long. Could you please stop? Oh my God, we're gonna have 8 minutes of listening to Thomas the Tank Engine if we don't stop her.
Just so Boozy dances.
And that's as much as I dance.
That was pathetic.
Yes, this is the song that I am now firmly convinced you hear when you die, though. Shh.
What is that?
This is a guy yodeling and walking like a chicken.
The yodel was not my idea.
I want to point out. No.
The panel was Dixie's idea.
No, it was just a bullshit joke.
It was a joke, but it was your joke.
You accepted it. Why?
Because
Why?
I even explicitly told you I have no plan for this.
We have a lot of money in that hat for Hawes. That's why.
No, we don't even have $100.
That's still money that they wouldn't have had otherwise.
I have a really great picture of you that Woody sent me that I could tweet out if I got like 200 at least.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, it's really good.
Is it really possible to blackmail me anymore? I don't think it is.
There's a picture.
Yes. I can't even see what this is.
Why are your eyes so big? What are you doing?
I was probably going to rape him.
Really? Did you just say that?
Well, this is how we all get in.
I don't recognize this person at first
I am
glance.
so glad there is legal counsel sitting next to me right now.
I know, right?
I'm a little uncomfortable sitting next to him right now.
Everyone is.
So I forgot it.
You switch seats with her and be closer to me.
You know what? The sad thing is attorneys have a very dark sense of humor.
You think?
And we have a very dark sense of humor because of the crap we deal with. Before I worked for the firm I am with now, I was a legal aid attorney. Legal aid represents people in a variety of civil matters. Criminally, you always have a right to a defense attorney, even if you cannot afford any defense attorneys. The state will give you one. You don't get that civilly. So for an unemployment case, a family law case, things like that, you don't have that right. They don't appoint you one. There are lawyers out there, they are legal aid lawyers, they take pro bono cases on this. I was one of those. We saw a lot of shit come in the door, but the one that stuck out in my mind the most is the guy who came in for an unemployment claim. He had been fired from the nursing home he worked at. And when we asked him, why were you fired? He said, they say I broke one of the rules. And I said, what rule? And he said, inappropriate conduct with a patient, or a resident. And I said, I'm sitting here, he's a young guy. I'm looking at him and I go, well, would you care to elaborate? And he said, well, I don't know what the DA is bringing charges yet. And it was sexual conduct with a resident that the DA was looking into. The way that this works is I looked at him and I said, well, when you have an unemployment claim for something like that, and the rule that you have broken is a violation of the law, and there is a pending criminal matter, the Unemployment Commission should just kind of keep continuing it until there's a decision in the criminal case. Because if you're convicted, that's evidence. You're never going to get your unemployment. And he said, "Oh, I don't think they'll get the conviction that they're looking for." Now, there are times in your life, and especially in your practice as a lawyer, where you know you are about to ask one question too many. And I looked at him and I asked the question that I thought was one question too many. And I said, why do you think the DA won't get a conviction? He said, oh, they'll never find a reliable witness. And that's when I learned what the one question too many was, because I said, why don't you think they'll get a witness? And he said, well, they all had Alzheimer's. I stood up out of the meeting room. I went into the break room. I poured a mug of coffee. A brand new legal aid attorney, fresh off the boat, just started working there, walks in, looks at me and says, "You looked a little shaken." And I did, because I was going. And he goes, "What happened?" And I go, "I think I just met the Professor Moriarty of geriatric rapists." This is making me sick. Yeah.
Can we FaceTime Pepper?
Can we FaceTime Pepper?
Sure.
We're gonna FaceTime Pepper now, because we want a lighthearted thing after that.
That was awful.
Oh, I've got worse. Trust me, that's not a patch.
Just stop it.
It's just my eye. It's like one of my eyes.
Since we're FaceTiming Pepper, can we talk about Fox's blue check marks?
Yes.
I love the fact it's just fucking ringing. There's no way he's gonna pick it up.
This is his actual cell phone too. Like, look. Are we in Yorkie?
No shit, he
And
ignored
I
you.
got like the message saying he landed like 45 minutes ago and everything.
I wonder if I FaceTime him and pick up.
If he does, I'm gonna be so
Oh
mad.
Wait. To let you know what happened, he ignored Dixie. So
All
now
right.
Fox is going to see if he'll pick up for him.
If he does, he's gonna be in so much trouble. His fee doubles if he answers for you.
Dixie, have you never played this game with people? Have you never said, "Oh, I get you, they'll pick up for you"?
Oh, and he
Oh, I
better
know.
not. His fee doubles.
He's not hung up yet.
He doesn't like you either.
We've got 80 people in here just waiting to see if Pepper Coyote.
Oh, he telegrammed me though and said he's almost here.
No, FaceTime him.
Okay, so does this confirm that Pepper's not a dick?
Walking somewhere carrying his equipment.
Or is this just not a point against him?
No, we're gonna try it again. Hang on.
Do y'all want to hear a more lighthearted legal story while we're doing that?
Your stuff is bullshit. Hang on.
What is wrong with you people? The more lighthearted legal story that does not involve
talk
old
to
people being
Pepper.
horribly abused. No. What the?
Is it ringing?
I can't tell because you're holding the phone up to my fucking ear.
Here, where the phone goes.
My ear's down a bit.
I'm looking at your
I can't even tell if he answered.
Boozy,
I think
you
did.
asshole. Boozy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
okay,
here.
Pepper's
He's
here.
here. He's here.
This is Boozy.
I think he sees you.
He just hung the fuck up. Smart man.
He FaceTime like accepted it and then hung up.
Good.
Because he doesn't like.
I know. But the more lighthearted legal story is
I should preface this. Ethically, I am required to retain all client files for 5 years before I can destroy them. This has caused some uncomfortable moments in my office, such as the poop. This started with a lady who called me on what was supposed to be a breach of contract case with a home improvement contractor who was remodeling her living room. They had had a fight, and he had left a poop on the rug. I said, well, ma'am, that is certainly going to be a breach of contract. Come on into the office. And she goes, should I bring the pictures? Sure. She came in, we sat down, she brought out the pictures. And guys, these weren't like pictures with your phone camera that you print out at Walmart. These were like professionally done DSLR cameras with lighting and all that shit on what was most definitely a pile of human shit. And I said, okay, well, the pictures are very compelling evidence. They definitely show that. I think one of our magistrates would find it unlikely to believe that you took a dump on your own floor in your half-finished living room. And then she goes, oh, well, would you like to see the poo? Yeah, a moment ago I talked about asking one question too many. It wasn't one question too many this time because I actually did the thought process I learned from the past. And I went, no. Do you have it? And she goes, oh yeah, it's in the car. You brought it? Yeah. Now, this was several months ago. So when she goes out to the car to bring in the poo, I'm expecting like a Ziploc baggie with a dried turd in it. No. She had Tupperware sealed the poop. It was fresh. And the only thing I thought upon looking at it was, it must have been interesting burping that container. So she hands it over to me, despite me saying several times, ma'am, I don't need the poop. I want to remind people, I went to law school so I could sit in my office and tell a client, no ma'am, you don't need to hand me the poop. But she insisted that I keep it. Now, you get a chance in civil matters to call someone in, the opposing side in, and ask them questions prior to trial during discovery. They are called depositions. And during the deposition, I asked this contractor, I said, my client has claimed that you defecated on her floor because I can't say my client has said you shit on her rug on the record. Is that accurate? And he said, absolutely not. And I said, okay. Would your answer change if I told you I had the poop? And then I brought out the Tupperware. Now, we settled that case. But here is the issue, is once she got her check, she had no interest in getting the originals out of my file. If a client requests their originals, I still have to keep a copy of everything for my records, which would have raised some questions on how I was going to make a copy of human shit. I'm assuming a sculptor and some Play-Doh would have been involved. But she never bothered to ask for it, and I can't dispose of it. This case was settled like 2 years ago. In my filing cabinet, in my office, 3 feet away from my desk, is a green Tupperware container of human shit that I have to hold on to for 3 more years. Guys, this is why I went to law school. Guys, that will knock us out of time on this day.